Hey guys, thank you for tuning back in with me for my Spotlight on Success. I have an amazing interview to show you guys today. I am so excited about this one. It was a great long conversation, amazing points, amazing questions, and I ended up having to split it up into two parts just to make it a little easier for you guys. We ended up speaking for over an hour and a half. So a lot of editing went into this. I really hope you guys enjoy it, are inspired by this story, and I'm gonna just let y'all get into it. Hey guys, thank you for coming to my spotlight. Today I have Devon Wilson with me, aka Farmer Vaughn, and I'm gonna be interviewing him and asking him some questions about Sunlight Gardens and pharmacy. Are they like one or two separate?
Sunlight Garden, we're a 2-acre urban organic farm. Our mission is to increase access to local food and inspire the next generation of farmers. At the core of what we do is increasing access to local food, inspiring the next generation of farmers. And then with pharmacy specifically, where food is medicine. Eating food is something that we have to do 3 times a day, every day, and no matter what you look like, where you come from, rich, poor, whatever, everybody has to eat. Since it's such a necessary thing, it shouldn't be something that is harming our bodies. In low-income areas, people are getting diet-related illnesses, meaning the food that they're forced to eat every day is making them sick. We tend to just, all right, well, I don't have much money, so I'm gonna just get the cheaper option, go through the drive-through, this and that. But it's really harmful to our longevity, to even our mental health, and a lot of other things that's tied into it. Sunlight Garden and pharmacy, the idea is like breaking that cycle. With the store, we talk about convenience stores, and if you live in an area like this, a more low income area in the hood, a lot of you eat from the liquor store, you eat from the convenience store. But to me, it's not convenient if you eat in a product and it's making you sick. Can we redefine what convenience means? And so in the store, you got to look around, but you see you have a lot of chips and snacks and convenient products, but they just have real ingredients in them. Our candies have real sugar. We don't have artificial dyes, artificial sweetener, things like that. So, you can eat something and enjoy it. It's convenient, and it's also charging you up and not giving you diabetes and then cancer. Things.
Food is fuel, essentially.
Exactly.
That's how we nourish our bodies. So, me personally, I think it's one of the most important things when it comes to your lifestyle is what you put in your body. Because whatever you put into your body, it shows,
For sure.
Your skin health, your overall digestive health. A lot of people I realize are having autoimmune disorders, and it's it does have a big issue with our food that we eat. So is this something that upon your youth you were really inspired to do?
It is, yeah. I think I was a really curious kid. Being young, I always, one of those annoying kids, why? Always asking, why this, why that? The way that we're eating and the way that our system is set up is almost designed to make us sick, keep us sick in a way. And the option to be healthy, it's out there, but it's hard to access for me and my family and my community. Even to this day, we don't have a Whole Foods. We don't have a lot of these healthier options. So I think that's really what inspired me. And then also I love food. I kind of felt a sense of betrayal when I started to understand, use the internet and things like this more about, okay, what we're eating is making us sick. I want to provide food for myself, my family, my community, that we can be proud to eat. I love life and I want to live a good life. And going back to what I said earlier, we gotta eat. So for me, I love art. I love a lot of different things, but I got so passionate into the farming and the food just to kind of set that foundation.
You mentioned the internet. You think that a lot of people with access to the internet too would look into the foods that they're eating and see that they're not good for us, especially since that's something super simple we can just go do. But I really do think it's the way that our society is. You don't see ads for farms on TV. Right. You see fast food ads and medicine ads, and
that's crazy.
Forbid that we try to heal ourselves with food, right?
Right.
Do you think that urban farming is something that should be taught in our education system?
Most definitely, I do. Yeah. If you think about animals in general, like even a deer knows where to go get its food and water. You can't really say the same about humans, right? Besides a store. I was the same way when I was younger. Yeah, like what happens if that store isn't closed one day? Like we got a taste of that during COVID, right?
Yeah.
The stores used to be open 24/7, all night and this and that. Now, they close at midnight. You know what I mean? And not to go on like a conspiracy route, right? But it's like, you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
That's the kind of person I am, right? Like you never know what can happen. So to your point, like I think the basic survival skills should be taught in school. We should know how to filter basic water. We should know how to work the land and grow food from the land. You know what I'm saying? Even like hunting and fishing. Really, I think we should be learning all that. Like nature school. It's basic survival school. I don't even, they barely teach how to cook in school like that anymore, I think I learned how to make like pizza bagels or something when I was in school. Like, you know what I mean? Like, which is cool, like whatever, but teach me how to make a stir fry. Teach me how to can and jar and preserve food.
Yeah, life skills, like actual life skills.
Yeah.
You had mentioned something about you do classes, or
we do a lot of different like classes teaching people how to grow food. And so we have events on the farm. I'll go into schools sometimes, show kids how to plant a raised bed, or like build a raised bed, plant it, and grow simple lettuce, radish, simple stuff. And then one thing that's coming up I'm really excited about is we're going to be doing a workforce development program here on the farm. And so basically, on this journey, I realized like we need more practitioners. Kind of exactly what we're talking about. Like they don't teach us stuff in school. Mm-hmm. So kids don't know what's possible, or they don't see themselves being a farmer. You think of a farmer, you think of a, old person on a tractor.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's lame, it's boring, like it's not attractive at all. And that's just one part of our food system. We're talking about farming. We're in a store. This is another part. The workforce development program is built to get young kids exposed to different careers in our food system, with the goal of just having a more strong, robust food system. You should be able to go to Taco Bell, order a taco, and it's like you're eating local food. Why not? Like, I like Taco Bell. They make good tasting food. It's not good for our bodies, but it tastes good.
Yeah.
So why can't we match the flavor with the health benefits?
Yeah.
And all it would take is a more robust food system. We have strawberries in the store today. It's sold out of them. Because people come in, they see the Michigan strawberries. You can smell it, you can see it, they're brighter, they smell way better. You should be able to just go anywhere, not even have to think too much about it, and you're eating local food. We know local food is much better for you, it's better tasting, it's better for the environment and our soil, and it's better for our bodies. Hopeful outcome of this program, we're building more practitioners of the food system.
So if you're not getting taught about food and how to farm, Farmer Bond got you.
Sure enough. Yeah. Sign ups, open it up soon.
When you initiated these plans, or like your idea of pharmacy and Sunlight Gardens, how long would you say it was before you started seeing your brains start to come?
How I initially got into farming, I was probably 15 or 16 years old, having those realizations we talked about. And I just went to volunteer on a local farm. So it was called Sprout. People might have heard of Sprout before. they've kind of transitioned and evolved into like a food hub now. But at the time, they were doing like community gardens, basically farming anywhere I could. And my friend had a side lot, so I turned that lot into a small garden. And then I had a partnership with a flower farmer and was farming. So I was like farming in all these little spots, bringing my stuff together and going to the farmer's market and selling. So I saw progress then. So I bought this land at the end of 2020. And that's when I really started seeing a lot of progress because I had more space. I wasn't so spread out. Also saw a lot of progress when Carl and Jerry started helping me out. So Carl's the store manager, Jerry's the farm manager. And they both started as volunteers. So they just started helping me out in exchange. I was teaching them how to grow. And they would help me farm and help me do the work. That helped me build up to a level where I could pay them and pay myself more. And then that's when I quit my job. I used to do bartending and serving and stuff like that. So I quit my job, started working full-time here, started getting more into teaching. And I really enjoyed teaching. I kind of, grew a passion for teaching people. And then, we just kept making more and more progress.
Did you take well to like working with the community? Like, was it something that came easy to you then?
I would say, yeah. Yeah, it is. When we opened the store up, the feedback that we got, it was inspiring. People do want this. It's not just me trying to do whatever. Like, people are like, oh, this is whatever. A lot of the products that you go to, it's the same products at every store. And they're all owned by the same corporations. A lot of times, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, owns all these different shit companies, all these snack companies, you know what I mean? Urban farming, you really do have to work with your community. And you gotta be willing to teach people. You gotta be willing to open up the farm for volunteer days. And I think that's one of the great functions of an urban farm is you get to show people agriculture. Like when I was a kid, I did not know food grew in the dirt. And that sounds crazy to me now. Right. Because of what I do, but like my mom, we would go to the store together, get things off the shelves. Mm-hmm. How was I supposed to know? So I think a lot of kids have that same experience. It's like, you don't know what you don't know. Yeah. People are scared of nature.
Yeah, scared of dirt.
For real. You know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of people, they don't want to get dirty. They're scared of bugs.
I was grounding when I was outside. I'm chilling on the ground. That's why I didn't like to get out there.
That was dope.
This is nice. I'm touching the grass.
Right.
So yeah, that's I totally understand.
That's real. And so I would actually have people say like, oh, I don't want to eat that because I came out of the dirt. You know what I mean? So it just shows how disconnected we have become from the earth and from nature. So yeah, it's a great reality to be able to offer that knowledge and reconnection to people. And to be real with you, I think a lot of the problems we have in our society is because of how disconnected we have became from nature. Honestly,
I would agree. When you opened up pharmacy, was it a little bit of a challenge in the beginning? Because there was more responsibility to take on?
It definitely was, yeah. And that's been an interesting part of this because I really just wanted to farm and grow food. And that's kind of what I fell in love with in the beginning was, growing, putting seeds in the dirt, growing things. And now, I really am in this role of being a CEO because I have different enterprises. We have the farm going on. We have events. We have educational workforce development programs going on. We have the store. Yeah, we do YouTube and things like that.
I was watching your YouTube. I watched your YouTube.
Yeah.
When you were talking about the volunteers, and I immediately thought of your, 100 volunteers versus one farmer?
Yeah.
I did my research.
Okay,
I did my research.
She does her research.
But, yeah.
So all of these things, I can tell you this, I was not thinking about all that in the beginning, right? I'm thinking about, let me grow some microgreens. Let me try to grow a collard green and this and that. Moving forward, I've really just had to develop a lot of skills, that I did not know I was going to need in the beginning. So to answer your question, this was a big learning curve. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning a lot. Being a shopkeeper, owning a store, marketing, ordering, pricing things out, even just managing teams and people and things like that. It was a lot of, I had to learn those skills. I think my passion and dedication is the fuel to just kind of make me fearless and willing to learn whatever skills I have to. Because sometimes I'm like, this is over my head, right? Like, even, I remember there was a point in time, like, I wasn't comfortable with being a leader. I never necessarily looked at myself like that. I was just growing, I'm far behind, I grow stuff, whatever. But as you've said, it is a movement. And to get a movement in motion, you have to take on that leadership role. The ability to connect with people and manage teams, I think is one of the most important skills, honestly. I think it's one of the most important skills. There's the old African proverb. It's like, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I really believe that. I mean, there was times when I first bought the property before my volunteers came, employees now. I was like, I had that realization of like, okay, I think I've got as far as I can by myself. That was when I started to develop those skills of being a leader.
How does it feel, and is there pressure coming with being a community leader?
That's a great question. I mean,
I got a good question.
You really do. I can tell you did research.
I like to know stuff.
Yeah, this is dope. I think, I'll be lying if I said there wasn't any pressure. But it's like, for me, it's a healthy pressure. It's a healthy pressure. Pressure makes diamonds. I have the pressure of being the best that I can be to push the movement forward. To be real with you, I still don't necessarily look at myself as like this community leader and this and that. Like, I'm just doing what I feel called to do. Mm-hmm. And to be real with you, I'm having fun with everything now.
Yeah.
And that's at the core of it. For me, keeping things fun and flavorful, I welcome the community leader aspect of what I do. But then at the same time, it's like, I'm doing this because I want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't let the pressure take me off of my course.
When you first started the farms, were there challenges that you had to face?
Definitely, yeah. A lot of different challenges. I would say animal and pest pressure. Being in an urban environment, like in Mount Creek here, like we're urban, but we have a lot of like rural pockets. So there tends to be a lot of deer, groundhog, rabbits, and then not to mention like worms and the bugs that can attack your crops too. So being a regenerative and organic grower, meaning like I don't use any pesticides, herbicides, things like that, I had to learn a lot of methods. It's so discouraging if you grow a bunch of food, next thing you know, everything gets wiped out overnight because a deer got in your fence, you know what I'm saying, or a groundhog dug a tunnel and ate all your stuff, right? Now being a farmer, like learning everything, learning how close to plant everything together, what grows well together, the seasonality of things. I went to school, I went to Michigan State, they have an organic farmer training program. Mm-hmm. So I got to go through that and learn a lot. Urban farming, like some of the ordinances that you have to go through, you have to work with the city, right? It always seems impossible until it's done.
Yeah.
You keep pushing at it, you'll figure a way out, but yeah, it was a lot.
So is there any like specific examples of like the farm being impacted where you kind of had to like get back on your feet or anything like that?
I mean, the animals is a big one. Like I used to not know how to trap groundhogs and things like that. We have planted an entire spring crop of collard greens, kale, and lettuce in a hoop house. Came back the next day, they had ate everything and destroyed our whole crop that we were planning on, selling throughout that season. And before that, like we said, like I love nature, right? I don't want to kill stuff. I don't want to, you know what I mean? So I would actually live trap the groundhogs, which is much harder And I really don't, now at this point, I don't recommend it. But I would live trap them and then like drive to like forest, swamp area and let them out. When that happened, it got to a point where it's like, all right, I'm about to be like saving this wildlife and doing all this, or I'm gonna grow food and have a business. Like it was like one or the other because it wasn't working. So yeah, that was a big one. I remember something I'm still kind of going through is the deer. So like we need to build a deer fence around the whole property, which is an 8-foot fence behind. So you build like a 4-foot fence and then you build an 8-foot fence behind it. That's technically illegal in the city. You're not supposed to have a fence that's higher than 6 feet. I had to go to a bunch of meetings, city council meetings, and basically get them to approve a variance for this fence. And then figure out how to get the money for it. This is like a $15,000 fence. Thankfully, I'm on the other side of that. Now I'm just, kind of saving up funds to build it. But in the process of it, it was a lot of hoops I had to jump through for them to even accept it. But yeah, going through that variance process is like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it definitely seems complicated. And I haven't had to do too much with the city, but I have sat in on city council meetings before where I live at, and I definitely see what people have to go through and do certain things. So yeah, and I know that's complicated because you're trying to do something for the community, and it's like I gotta jump through all these hoops to try to feed my community.
Right. Like, come on.
Like, be for real. Be so for real.
You know what I mean? It's like, are you serious?
What kind of things do you hope that your movement inspires others?
I hope it inspires more farmers. Young boys and girls to look at farming different and get into our food system and understand, in a sense, you are what you eat. So if we keep eating fast food, unhealthy stuff shipped all the way across the country from California, Mexico, overseas, it has an effect on our health. Not only of our personal health, but our soil too. Thinking about the Native Americans, I think 3 generations ahead.
Yeah.
Thinking like that, if we keep going on the path that we are now, we're destroying our soil. And you were talking about a little bit earlier, like the autism rates and the different kind of illnesses that are becoming more prevalent. It all ties back to what we eat and how we do agriculture. I hope it inspires people to look at the food system differently. A lot of people, they think the only way to make it out is to do criminal activities, right? To make money, to get ahead in life. I want them to look at farming, you know what I mean? I really believe it is a way to create abundance and generational wealth while doing something good for others and the planet. I have some big goals of, lowering the rate of diabetes. The workforce development program, we're calling it Project Feast. When it goes how we want it to go, I think Battle Creek could be a place where people have the longest life expectancy in the country. We can have the lowest rate of diet-related illnesses in the country. And I think that, to be real, through eating more electric foods, real food, healthy food, we will be able to make more money because we'll have more energy.
I admire your movement that you have behind, your business. Like, you're not just doing it to do it. I feel like a lot of people get into stuff just to do it nowadays.
For sure.
Especially because there's niches. I know people that are in health and fitness, but they're not in natural health and fitness. It's all this chemical stuff pushing and things like that. So it's nice to see someone that's not just driving for themselves, because I know you say you do it because you love it, but you're also doing it for your community.
Most definitely.
And you have plans, greater plans than just something small. So that's very motivational and inspirational, and I feel like that's something awesome and to be proud of.
I could have been a lot further ahead if I sold car insurance or, you know what I mean? There's a lot of quick ways to make money, but I think the purpose in what you do is meaningful.
Did you have people who supported your ideas before you had the chance to implement them, or was it something that you kind of had as a set personal thing and you didn't really talk about it till you got into it?
When I started getting into this, it was almost surprising to a lot of people, even my parents, right? They're like, You want to be you want to be farming? Not to say they were ever against it or anything. Like, they're very supportive of me to this day. But it's like, I'm a first generation farmer. I don't know the exact statistics, but it's like 80% of farmers, they're just taking over the family farm. Even when I first got started, it was a lot of nonprofit farms. There's a lot of great nonprofits, don't get me wrong. But sometimes people have ulterior motives, right? In a way, they're forced to focus on grant fundraising. And when you're a nonprofit, you have to, that's where you make your money at, is the grants and things like that. So yeah, it was difficult, and to kind of like find my lane. I feel like what we do now is almost like a blend of like for-profit, and we do some nonprofit stuff too, like with the education side of things. The Michigan Farmers Union welcomed me with open arms. One of the first for-profit farms that I worked with. And even the nonprofit farm I worked with, Sprout, like in the beginning, they really welcomed me. They said, oh, this kid, wants to do farming. Like, that's cool. Let's embrace him. And they embraced me. The for-profit farm I worked on, which is now called Of the Land, kind of towards Marshall, they do weddings and stuff, but they still grow food. But he really embraced me too. And like my coworkers there, he embraced me, taught me how to cook. Actually, I didn't know how to really cook from scratch until I worked there. And a woman named Christina and her husband like brought me to their house. They saw me like eating like peanut butter and jelly at lunch. They was like, yo, like, you are growing on this food. Like, you need to learn how to cook this shit.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they brought me to their house, showed me how to cook a stir fry. Like, changed my life. As funny as it sounds. So yeah, it's people like that along the journey I'm so grateful for and thankful for. Even now, one of my mentors, Joe Scrimger, this dude is like a soil genius. Like, you should do a podcast with him one day. Like, he can trace the rising like infertility rates in our society, autism and all this, right back to agriculture and like the chemicals that we use for spray. But yeah, people like him, and then my team that I'll build here, they have to gain a ton of new skill sets, and the dedication that I have, I see the same thing in them. So like Jerry, Carl, Enrique, we got a intern right now named Meg from KKCC. Just dope individuals. I couldn't do none of this shit without them.
Having a good support team keeps you going, even when it doesn't feel like, I don't want to say not worth it, but when you're drained and you're like, oh, like this is hard, having people that stand by you and then leaving you and give you that kick that you need, that boost that you need.
It's so important. It's so important. And that family and like, our extended family, however it is, that's like, I've realized over time how important that support is. It really is.
Especially with a thing like this. Like, it's not a small, restricted idea. You didn't just leave it at farming. You decided to grow from that. Like you said, it was challenging at first, and but you've gotten through the adversities, and you're still working through that. So,
for sure,
yeah, that's what builds character.
There was blood, sweat, and tears to get to this point. It really was. All three of them, like, literally, like, I remember even last year, like, I busted my finger open, busted my head, I had to go to the hospital. Like, it's been a lot of months in a row. But like you said, like, when I did that, my boy Jerry was here. He took me to the hospital. You know what I mean? Anything worth doing is not going to be easy.
What are some goals that you have set?
Doing smoothies and salads fresh in the store. So Carl's going to be making a menu, and we're going to be having fresh smoothies and salads available. We just got our food handling license recently to do cold prepared food, so smoothie salads. I really want our intern to learn a lot this year. She's super motivated and dope. So I want her to have a good experience here. The soil that we have now is so loam. That's what we call like really rich soil. It came a long way from when we first got this property. Like, it was like rocky, sandy. A seed falls out of your pocket and it's gonna sprout up. Like, it's just very rich.
Seen y'all composting with mushrooms.
You see that?
I thought, I was like, okay.
For sure, yeah, we take it seriously. We just started selling compost. Right now it's kind of in a pilot phase. Like, we're selling it to community members and to volunteers and stuff. But the idea is like people can actually come here, buy a bag of compost. That's the big one. And the other one I can think of off top is making Project Feast one of the best projects that has ever existed. Sure that. One of the best programs when it comes to workforce development and getting kids into food system careers. We are going for excellence.
So do you do any work with like other local businesses? Maybe you guys benefit from each other, or you guys help each other like impact wise?
Definitely, yeah. So we work on restaurants. We work with Torty Taco.
Yeah, I think I see that.
It's a taco shop. They used to have a restaurant downtown. They now they have their Beckett location. They buy stuff from us, and then like we do events here. With Javier, the owner of that, we actually started our businesses around the same time as each other. And he's just been a really dope like friend, mentor, brother. So yeah, we're locked in. Kitchen Proper, which is a restaurant downtown. Chef Tony from there, super dope individual, amazing chef, probably the best restaurant in Battle Creek when it comes to high-end food. Tony with that Kitchen Proper. We used to do a lot of work with Umami Ramen. They kind of retired out. I actually co-founded a event called Earth Week in the Creek, and this year was the first year we actually did a week long of events. So during Earth Day, was like a Friday or whatever, but that whole week we had parties, different things going on that whole week.
Thanks, I missed it.
Hey, next year.
You got next year.
We gotta do something. We're doing a live podcast or something next year. We have a big party here for that too. That's like in collaboration with my boy Colin, who is he runs a church, and then Felicia, who is also just a really dope individual. And then we have some bigger partnerships with Kellogg. They send out volunteer groups a lot, and is really, really thankful for them. Duncan Aviation has sent out groups of folks before. So that's been one of the really cool things, is just like building these relationships with other businesses. You know, I think it's mutually beneficial. We just had a group of Kellogg volunteers last week. They work in the office a lot. You know what I mean? There's an office, type in, whatever they do, working hard. But it's nice for them to get outside and get some fresh air, be on the farm. And for us, it's nice to have some extra hands to move mulch, break down mushroom blocks, plant if you have to. So I think it's really mutually beneficial. And I think when people are starting up their business, like that's why I think it's dope what you're doing as well. Like getting the word out about other businesses, what's out there, because when we work together as businesses, like it's a win-win.
Makes them stronger, I feel like, especially local businesses having to compete with all these large corporations and things like that. I had people try to convince me to do work with larger corporations. I don't even feel comfortable like trying to do franchises because I just don't want to be associated with them larger. They very have enough when it comes to promotion. Like the ads on TV, radio ads, like all that stuff's already in front of our face and they're already making a lot of money. My goal is to show like smaller businesses or like more homegrown businesses. I don't want to say small because, they might seem small with their big ideas. And like you not just use them, but have them as an example to other people to start more local businesses, to start more of something the community can rely on rather than these big companies that are money hungry. I really like the idea of how we used to be when there were more like farmers markets and more like local, like, you had a local tailor that was fixing your clothes, or, you have people that specialize in things, these handcrafted things. And now we don't have that. Everything's like fast fashion, or, everybody's buying the same pieces of furniture at Walmart instead of going, that's going to break in so many months versus spending the money that's worth it of somebody who spent their life crafting those items. But the more that we talk about it, the more that we make this like a mainstream, it becomes the idea that's in people's minds rather than what they're force fed all the time.
Straight up. Yeah, I love that. Like we don't know what real genuine leather feels like, you know what I'm saying? You know, you go get like a cake or some cookies or something like actually baked with love, with somebody that cares about it, not just mass producing it. You have the baker, you have the butcher, you know, you got the farmer, somebody's real sweet with the clothes and making fashion and stuff. You lost a lot of that to Walmart. You know what I mean? You go to Walmart, you can go get your brakes done while you grabbing a cake and getting some new clothes. And like,
that's what that mindset where they convince you that it's convenient.
yes.
It's like they put it all
Yes.
together, they put it in your face, but really, it's to me is a distraction. You know, it's overwhelming too. Like I know personally, I don't like to spend too much time in the store because why am I looking at something I don't need?
But I can't stand looking for something. You can't even find what you came in there for.
Exactly. Yeah. I like to go to like all these like smaller
All these
grocery stores. They don't have. I mean, they have a farmers market around me, which is nice. I do go there. But they, you know, they're limited on their produce that they have.
and it's one day a week,
Yeah.
early in the morning, like it's not
Yeah.
accessible.
But when we have things like this, where it's like healthy but at a conveniency,
Sure.
it gives people more of a concept of, oh, like I do have other options, you know? And you were saying that earlier, like when you came to the community and gave people other options.
Right. Because do you feel like we should trade convenience for like our health and like kind of how we have now?
Yeah, definitely.
See, that's okay. Yeah, that's
Like, I know me personally, like, I became a health fanatic. One, my dad is from the Middle East. He's from overseas. They don't have all this bull crap here.
word.
Like,
Okay.
so food is different. Like, my dad, growing up, my dad was very, and I'm into holistic health now. So my dad was very adamant about, like, the food you eat affects your body. You know, my dad is 63 years old, and you would think he's like in his 30s. He is such a healthy man.
Wow.
Like he barely ever gets sick. And I know like some of it's genetics, but also like what my dad is drinking herbal coffee every morning with like cinnamon and turmeric, and like he's putting all this stuff in his coffee and ginger. And I remember him making me drink it when I would get sick, and I used to be like, "This is nasty. Like, why would you do this to yourself?"
Right.
But then I started eating from a different perspective, and I was like, I'm eating this because it makes my body feel good overall. Like, I learned that foods, everything is an acquired taste. Like, I used to hate onions. I'll eat an onion raw now. Like, I love onions. Ginger. I used to hate ginger. Now, like, please give me a ginger shot if I'm not feeling good. Because I know, like, it makes my body feel good. And
I'm drinking that sea moss drink right now. You know what I mean?
okay.
You know, like
Yeah, I grab me one of these because they look good. I love turmeric and I love carrot juice.
okay.
So
Let's go.
I'm like, let me try it. It tastes delicious.
Is it good? It tastes
Yeah,
good?
it tastes delicious. I love it. But I do stuff like I make my own meat juice at home. I gotta buy a new juicer, but I really did change the way that I thought about food. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just saying, like, since I've become a mom too, I'm very adamant with implementing the importance of food with my son, because I feel like that's where it starts. People, they let their kids have all these things and they don't realize, well, if it's not accessible to them, then they're not gonna cry and beg for it and say like, oh, that's ugly.
That's, yeah.
And especially at a young age, because I definitely researched, I know like a lot of adults have texture issues because they were on, baby food for too long. And, or like a lot of adults, they don't ever acquire a taste for vegetables because all they were given was sweet baby food all the time,
Yeah.
And I used to make my son his own baby food. I'm boiling the carrots. I'm doing that. Yeah, because I was very cautious, especially when it was around, right before COVID when I had my son, and then they had like all the recalls on baby formula and baby food and stuff like that.
All the heavy
metals
and bullshit.
Yes, and I was so glad. Like, I mean, I know like it's not an ability for all women, but breastfeeding, like that is something beautiful that, in society nowadays, it's like, oh, you're breastfeeding, like, I think that that's the best chance you can start off your day.
Yeah, that's the best.
Um,
That's the best thing you can do.
Yes, for sure. And you know, with the research and stuff showing how it can affect your child's brain and put them ahead.
Yeah.
Just even having a little bit of breast milk, or colostrum, like it really does make a difference. And I really do agree when we move far away from what's natural to us, and we've been kind of brainwashed into, what did you call it?
Biophobia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad to hear young moms like say that, because you're right. Like a lot of people with work, stress, this, you know, in their own issues, they give in to anything. Oh, well, you know, I'm gonna just hit the dollar menu and I'm gonna do this and that. And like, don't get me wrong, I grew up eating that shit. So like, I get it. You can't always make your own big, you make your own big food. That's inspiring.
Yeah.
That's dope. But like, that's what people should be aiming for.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not saying everybody will be able to do exactly that, but like,
even if we have like, you know, places like this in the community, say they, you know, you guys happen to do that, make baby food that simple. People are gonna be like, oh wow, well I know where the food is coming from. I know that this isn't, you know, filled with pesticides or chemicals.
You just gave me a good idea. I'm like,
but you're opening up concepts to people when they're like, yeah, it's a new idea and it's a new space, and like it builds more trust with you in the community too. If the regular stores are out of baby food because they get a recall, we can go over to Farmer's Mom's place and get something from the pharmacy. Like they got stuff there. Like that's a big deal.
It definitely is. And I mean, you said it, like people get caught in that trap of like, oh well, my kid always asks for this. Why is for mac and cheese, chicken nuggets, and all this? But a lot of times, that's like you said, we don't have another option.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, like I said, you can give me a real good idea. Like that's so true. And part of the reason why we do this, we need more options. And it's not even like, I don't expect people to come here 100% of the time to get everything they need, but it's like, start, you know, just think about us. Maybe before you go to Meijer or Walmart, come here, see if you can
get fresh.
Straight up, see what you get in season from Michigan, organic. See if you can get it. You might not have every smaller store. You might not have everything, but if you get 50% of your stuff local and fresh and organic, and then the other 50%, that can actually add years to your life.
Yeah.
And then the years that you are here living this life, you can have more energy, not feeling sick.
I also think too, you're mentioning you guys kind of do like cooking workshops and stuff like that too. People not realizing there's other options to what they're taught food is supposed to be. I like that you told me, Carl, that he's a vegan chef. That's cool. I like looking into vegan recipes because it gives you a different perspective on what food you can eat. And like put my friends on sweet potato brownies for their kids, or incorporating chickpeas in their mac and cheese, like little stuff like that. I trick my son all the time into thinking he's eating something that's not good for him, and it's honestly super good. And that's how I get him to try new stuff, because I'll be like, hey, try this. He thinks it's a brownie, and I'm like, oh, it's got sweet potatoes in it. Now he wants to eat sweet potatoes. It's the little steps that we take that make a big difference, for sure.
Like even making the store, we designed it to look like a corner store. You know what I'm saying? So like even the shelving that we have, the products that we have, it's similar to what you would get at the corner store, but it's fresh ingredients. No artificial flavors, no artificial dyes. And that was very intentional. Because like, I kind of have this philosophy of like, the 3 F's. When doing this kind of work, you gotta make things fun, flavorful, and familiar. Like you said, we've been brainwashed, straight up, to this convenience society. Everything has to be, bright colors and super flavorful and all. And like, don't get me wrong, things should be flavorful, but it should be real flavor.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be artificial flavor.
And when you get used to that natural flavor, like the artificial flavor doesn't taste I mean, at least in my experience, I like, there's a lot of things that I can't eat now. I don't even like to drink soda unless it's like a ginger ale, you know, or like an old school root beer.
Yeah.
Like this,
Or
like that.
you have the prebiotic.
Or the probiotic sodas.
Yeah.
Yes. But the taste is just so, now that I've had real food, I prefer what real food tastes like. 100%. And I think that's a big problem too. And when we train our kids into that, like our children, they're wanting all this candy and all this stuff, we're stopping them from having that familiarity of what real food tastes like, what real food smells like.
When I was younger, I thought I did not like a lot of fruit because the fruit that I was getting from the grocery store, it was trash.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They harvest it early so that it can take these long journeys to get here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everything in the grocery store, period, it's not designed for flavor or for nutritional benefit. It's designed for shelf stability. Straight up. They want it to sit on the shelf as long as it can, look perfect, because that's how people buy things. And they can make money if they can have something sit on the shelf and it's not going bad, right? So yeah, I mean, you made me think of it like, I used to think I didn't like cantaloupe. I used to think I didn't like blueberries. Food that I love and eat almost every day now. Some of my favorite foods now. I used to think I didn't like them because they weren't coming locally. They weren't being grown the right way. And they didn't have fresh flavor, and I was not familiar with the flavor. So I'm eating out, you know, we got blueberries in the house. They were grown, whatever, thousands of miles away, harvested early. They don't got no flavor, no smell. So I'm eating it. I'm like, this is nasty, Mom. Why you giving me this? Like, come on, it tastes like, it tastes like crunchy water, like straight up. It don't have no flavors in it. Now you come get some strawberries. When we get our blueberries in here, it's better than candy. It is, like you said, when you get the real version, you don't even want the artificial version no more.
Yeah.
Because it's that much better. And so I think that's something that it makes me sad, because it's like we kind of trick our children into not liking produce. And I don't blame them. Yeah, you would rather have some candy that actually is flavorful than a lot of the fruit you can get in the grocery store, because it was not grown the right way.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's sad. But that's why we do. That's the part of why we do. So, you know what I mean? Like, you can try the real version of it, and it's way better. Like, the tomatoes that we grow compared to the tomatoes that you can get in the grocery store, it's almost not even like the same.
I can only imagine.
Fruit.
I can only imagine. I need text message alert. You got text message alert. Hey, we just got fresh produce in. We got this. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
We're gonna have to get that. No, that's a great idea. We're gonna have to get that. I'm gonna let
Some
you
people
know.
don't have Facebook. Because I do check, I do watch your Facebook sometimes.
We do post it on Facebook, but you're right.
Seeing what's in there. This is my first time actually here. I was like super excited. Thankfully, I re-looked at our messages because I put the wrong damn calendar.
Ooh.
And I'm glad that I went back and looked to like message you and tell you like, hey, checking in a week before.
That's
But really it was a couple days before. Because I was planning on like coming in and like wanting to get some stuff and kind of like experience it. But I don't mind it being my first time, and I did buy some produce. I have to. Those Rice Krispies are pretty good, and some cherries and things like that. So yeah, it's exciting. Even when I pulled up, when I was like riding down the road, like I said, I didn't realize that the farm and the store were on the same.
Oh yeah,
property.
you said that. You know they were on Saturday.
Yeah, so I was driving up and I was like, oh my gosh, like that must be the farm. Like, I got excited because I'm like,
Let's go.
you can see it. You're coming to the store and you see where your produce is being grown. And like, that's a whole new experience. Like, I mean, I've been to farms and farmer markets, but for an urban area, like, you know, being surrounded by houses, it's not out in the country and the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It gives a sense of like hominess, friendliness. Like this place is more comforting, you know?
For sure.
So
that's why it's gonna be. I'm so excited when we get our smoothies and salads up and running. Cause I appreciate you saying that, and that's like it's almost unheard of. Like you could be able to, if you wanted to, you could watch us harvest the stuff from out here, come in here, clean it up, put the salad dressing on there, put it in the blender, whatever, and you can, you know what I'm saying? You're
eating fresh out the garden.
Like it doesn't get fresher than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the kids who grew up with their grandparents that was gardening and stuff, and they're taking pieces out. They're like, here, try it. Here, eat it. You know, like nothing can compare to that. But you guys are bringing that to a local standpoint versus it being, you know. But since I'm on that aspect, you started doing installs recently, right?
Yeah. Wow. We didn't talk about that. Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I talked about it.
Yeah. So yeah, we actually started that last year, and we just brought it back for this season. But yeah, that on the same point we're talking about, like, and I said at the beginning, part of our mission, increase access to local food. What better way to increase access than to put it in your front yard? You know what I mean? Put it in your own yard. So that's the idea behind the install. So yeah, we will actually go out and work with you.
To me, if we could build more like community things like this, there would be less. Honestly, I feel like it would lower crime rate. I feel like it gives kids in the community, you know, bigger, better ideas. That they're gonna be inspired again to grow their own produce, learn to be self-sufficient, and then they're gonna have a longer, healthier, happier life.
Yes.
You know, with these kinds of things in the community. Yeah. Whereas when there's nothing wholesome like that, like what else left is there for people to do, you know, but like bigger with their neighbors.
One big thing I like to talk about is the mental health of our people. The mental health aspect of it. When you get outside and you grow things and you eat what you grow and you share that food with your neighbor, and I love that example, you are healing yourself mentally too. We know depression in our society right now, crazy. Like, people are depressed more than they've ever been, period. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of it comes too from nutrient deficiencies that we're not getting from our food.
Yeah.
So
100%.
It's all intertwined.
And people don't like to talk about it, right? Because it's embarrassing, you know? And it's like, okay, well, first of all, you should never be embarrassed to talk about your mental health. That's just real life. Everybody goes through shit. But like, I know from my own personal mental health journey, people have family members and things that I've seen of, you know, people trying to take their own life, and just how bad it can get. It's a real thing. It's a real issue that we're facing, and I just think, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say like farming is gonna solve every problem in the world, right? But I really do believe like it can have a big effect on. I mean, people can look this up. It's true. If you, when you put your hands in the soil, there's natural antidepressants in the soil.
And it puts nitrogen.
You were just grounding earlier.
When you walk on the ground, especially after a rainstorm, it helps put nitrogen into your blood.
Shut up.
Yeah, a lot. There's a lot of aspects to it.
And a person will, you know, sit inside on the computer all day or on the game, or, you know, working in a warehouse all day, go home, watch TV, and then you wonder why you're sad, why you're not feeling. Why, you know, why do I feel so deprived? Why do I feel it?
We're living beings, right? And our food is also, you know, vegetables, living, you know.
Sure.
Even people, I don't consume meat so much, but I do. You know, some people aren't.
I just started eating meat again. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, the your food is living aspect. Even
Yeah.
even people who eat animals. Yeah, think about what those animals are eating.
That's undoubtedly living. Like the plants is living too, but yeah, the animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you're concerned, or you should be concerned with what these animals are eating, because I don't know about anybody else, but I learned about the energy transfer process when I was in school, and we learned about biology.
Yeah.
And how, like, you know, if something is, whatever a mouse eats and then it gets eaten by an eagle and then a tiger eats that eagle, there's energy that's passing through each time. So for us to, like, not be in tune with that, yeah, it definitely throws us off.
Some of these animals don't even get to see the sun.
Yeah.
So how is, like, y'all think that you're just gonna eat that and not get any of that
It
energy?
actually does affect the taste too. EACC, it's like the British Center where I live at.
Yeah.
They had people come in and we tried 2 different kinds of meat to say, like, which ones we thought taste better.
Okay.
And the result of that was the cow that was raised on a homestead farm, you know, when they were fed in, like, free range pasture, like, that one was the top voted for better taste.
Wow.
So I haven't, like, looked into it. There's actually, like, super research into it, but from what I do know is, like, meat is tenser when it's in a stressful environment. You know?
Yeah.
Like, milk is affected too. Like, the taste of the milk is affected. What nutrients go into the milk is different. When a cow is actually around her calf versus them being stripped away from their calf right away, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely,
So you said you don't eat meat. What got you, or you don't eat a lot of meat? What kind
yeah.
of brought you to that?
Personally, I just don't feel like it sits well with me, like, in my stomach. I learned really quick when I did consume pork how much my body just couldn't digest it. And my body smelled weird. Made my stomach hurt, made my face break out, my skin not good. So I cut that out completely. I do eat yeast, but mostly, like, on a hormonal scale. So women, like, when their iron's low around the point of the month or whatever, I'll eat, like, red meat that will help, like, rejuvenate.
Okay.
If I can't make up for it and what I'm eating in fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
But then again, it's not, like, my first thing to go to. Like, if I do eat meat, a lot of time it's, like, when I go to my dad's and he's, like, making a Middle Eastern meal, he goes to the Middle Eastern stores and buys it. So it's different.
You know it's quality.
Yeah, or actually my dad goes to local farms and he'll buy a cow. Or, like, him and his friend will split a cow and he will literally butcher it himself.
That's what's up.
So
That's
it's
game.
like, you can definitely tell the difference in taste. It doesn't taste as tough. I feel like it cooks better because my dad has given me some of that meat, but it just hasn't been, like, a preference of mine. I do like whole foods, fruits and vegetables. I love how it makes my body feel. And especially, like, juicy, even then when I'm not, you know, I don't like soda. I don't even like coffee. I like green tea.
That's what's up.
Like, not sweet green tea.
Yes, no.
Once I acquired that taste for just healthy, like, I especially love greens. I just kind of stuck with it.
That's what's up.
For sure.
It's hard to let go when you get a good taste of it.
Mhm.
And yeah, it sounds like your dad, like, kind of blessed you with that awareness of quality. That's dope.
Yeah. My mom had gotten chickens recently, and for the first time I've had a chicken egg fresh out the chicken.
Let's go. Okay.
And I was like, I tasted it.
So she's like taking care of chickens.
Yeah, she
That's
doesn't
right.
come with chickens. They
That's what
free roam too. She don't, like, lock them up. They free roam her yard.
I
And,
know those ain't
they were so
Boy.
good. They were so delicious. I was so amazed. I never tasted it. It tasted nutritious.
Yeah.
Like, it
Yeah.
tasted so good. I'm like, wow, just the difference is insane. And I would have never thought that I'd just eat a chicken egg like that. Like, I don't know.
She said fresh out the chicken.
It was fresh out the chicken. I was like, oh, she just made me. It was like a
Or-
golden orange, and they smelled good. Like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it. And I tried it, and I was like, yeah, this changed my life. It definitely did.
Let's go. This did. That's what's up.
Yeah,
And it's funny because you don't know what you don't know.
yeah.
I remember the first time I had like organic milk, fresh milk, like so much better. I was drinking 2% my whole life, you know? The fresh organic milk, like totally different. It actually tastes creamy. Now you see where like ice cream comes from, like it tastes really creamy.
I have to try that because I don't really drink milk.
It's so good.
I drink like almond milk and like really drink milk.
It's a lot of mind games they play in the grocery store. I definitely don't mess with that. That's one of the things we're about to teach in our program coming up is the deception of food labels, and I'm sure you know what like the sugar-free, fat-free, all that stuff is capped a lot of times. I really got to see this last December. I was in Japan and I got to go to their stores, and I mean the difference. First of all, you can see it in the people. Like you really don't see like an overweight person there. Like to be real with you, I didn't see one person like. No, and this is no offense to nobody, but you know how you out there you see
Yeah,
some,
America has an obesity problem.
Thank you. That's a great way to say it. Straight up, and it's real. So out there, you don't see people that are obese, and I'm talking about like I was eating food from the gas station. Like you would never catch. It might sound funny, but like you would never catch me eating a sandwich from any gas station out here. Like
You don't know when they made it.
ever, you know that for real. You'll never see me doing that. Over there, I'm talking about they got like egg salad sandwiches, tuna sandwiches, whatever. Like they got sushi at the gas station, and it's fresh, flavorful. Something you would pay for at a restaurant out here, like they just have sitting in the gas station, like, and it's so good. But just their whole food system over there is way more focused on nutrition, being fresh, being straight from the farm. And so, yeah, going over there really showed me, like, okay, we got a lot of work to do.
And I do appreciate you sitting here. Let me ask you some questions and try to get to know you and your businesses a little bit better.
No, thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being a part of my spotlight.
For sure.